Strictly Come Dancing viewers were left reeling at the weekend after Lewis and Katya Jones were sensationally eliminated on Sunday night, following a dramatic dance-off against Davies and Nikita Kuzmin. As host Tess Daly read out the final verdict, a stunned silence fell over the studio before gasps rippled through the crowd, sending Lewis and Katya packing in one of the most controversial exits of the series. For weeks, the fiery pro and her Emmerdale actor partner had been widely tipped as frontrunners for the Glitterball trophy. But after a results show that has split the fanbase and ignited a fierce backlash, Lewis has become the 9th celebrity to leave the ballroom. Social media erupted almost instantly, with furious viewers crying, "Fix," and struggling to make sense of the decision. Even the judging panel appeared shaken, with head judge Shirley Ballas visibly emotional as she wiped away tears while sending the pair home. Katya and Lewis found themselves in the bottom two alongside Davies and Nikita Kuzmin during Sunday night's Musicals Week results show. On Saturday, the couple had earned a standing ovation from the studio audience, but the judges' scores left them marooned in mid-table territory, dangerously exposed to the dreaded dance-off. Amber and Nikita, meanwhile, had achieved a perfect 40, yet still ended up in the dance-off before being unanimously saved by the judges. The outcome left many asking the same question: what went wrong? Both Lewis and Amber came into the competition with dance credentials. Lewis appeared in Billy Elliot as a child, while Amber is a seasoned West End performer. For some viewers, that was precisely the problem. One long-running theory is that audiences prefer to back a celebrity who embarks on a visible journey, improving week by week, something that has undeniably benefited underdog EastEnders actress Balvinder Sopal, who has now sailed through to the semi-final. But in a twist of fate, it was Amber's deeper, more polished experience that ultimately secured her survival and tipped the balance in the dance-off. PR expert Maya Riaz explains, "I completely understand why viewers are frustrated. It genuinely felt like one of those shock exits that just doesn't sit right. When a couple has momentum, chemistry and obvious ability, audiences become emotionally invested. They feel robbed when that journey is cut short." However, there has definitely been a growing fatigue around contestants with prior dance training. Viewers tune into Strictly for the transformation story. They want to see a non-dancer wobble, grow, improve and surprise themselves. When someone has previous experience, fair or unfair, they're judged by a much harsher standard from week one. That can quietly work against them in the public vote. Another theory gaining traction online is that it is not Lewis, but Katya, who is cursed. The Russian-born pro has endured a string of difficult or controversial pairings since her infamous 2018 kiss with Strictly partner Sean Walsh, which made headlines after it emerged both were in relationships at the time. In the years since, fans have repeatedly claimed Katya has been stitched up with tricky partners, including disgraced Wyn Evans, and many now believe she rarely gets a fair shot. PR expert Maya Riaz agrees the optics are uncomfortable. On Katya, "I do think she's had a rough run in recent seasons," Maya continues. "She is one of the strongest and most imaginative pros on that floor, but she has definitely been handed some very challenging partners. It's started to feel like she goes into each series already on the back foot. I wouldn't call it a fix, but I would say it doesn't feel like she often gets a level playing field. And ironically, the one time she finally gets a genuinely strong partner again, he's branded, too experienced, and punished for it. The optics are not great. It looks like she can't win either way. Give her a weaker partner and she's dismissed. Give her a strong one and she's penalized." Fans also argued that Lewis and Katya were given the dreaded death slot, performing first on the night, a position long rumored to lead to lower scores as judges hold back to leave room for later acts. Some viewers believe that running order position is strategically disadvantageous and makes contestants more vulnerable to elimination. When the couple's name was called for the dance-off, the atmosphere in the studio reportedly shifted instantly. The judges' save was originally introduced as a safety net to protect the strongest dancers from a shock early exit, but critics now claim it has evolved into a mechanism that can quietly override the public vote. At the moment, it feels less about dancing and more about narrative control, and audiences are starting to clock it, Mayer says. There's also a wider question of consistency. If prior dance experience is such a sticking point, then that standard has to be applied evenly across the board. You can't ignore years of theater and musical training for one contestant and then weaponize it against another. Viewers notice that, and they don't appreciate the double standard. With Lewis, I think he became a casualty of perception rather than performance. He wasn't voted out because he was the weakest, he was voted out because the story around him changed. And once that happens, it's incredibly difficult to claw your way back. Strictly is still adored, but moments like this chip away at trust. When audiences start to suspect that the journey is being shaped rather than earned, the magic begins to fade. Today, Katya broke her silence with an emotional post after leaving the competition, admitting she is heartbroken but gracious in defeat. I must say congratulations to all the semi-finalists, and to @Nikita__Kuzmin and @Amb_D, who fully deserved their place in the semi-final. There was absolutely no doubt about it. Keep going, guys. She wrote. My heart is broken, and it will take some time to heal. So before I write a big, profound post, I'm going to take a minute to digest and breathe. Lewis's departure has left a sizable chunk of the fanbase furious. One fan, L, wrote on X, Lewis and Katya, you take the spot of the most robbed couple in the history of this show. Kelly added, the thought of losing Lewis and Katya before seeing their Argentine tango, American smooth and show dance is making me nauseous and ill. Chloe summed up the mood of many. When all is said and done, I will sleep peacefully tonight knowing that at least Lewis and Katya gave us the best dance Strictly has ever seen. Quote,